Hey guys, it's Erica Galinas with Century 21 Affiliated in Cherville, Indiana, here for our weekly market update. We're doing recaps of the 2021 year, so I guess we could call it recap. This week we're talking about Crown Point. Obviously tons of houses in Crown Point, tons of sales, and I actually split them into two as I normally do between Center Township, which is more, the downtown square and stuff like that, and then Winfield, which is east of there, and it's a completely different real estate market even though they share a mailing address. So first we're going to talk about Center Township. Again, lots and lots of houses, all kinds of houses. In 2021, total sold was 676 houses. Average price, $294,915. And again, this is all, there weren't really any $1 million homes. This is everything that was sold. So there was a tiny little house that sold for like $70,000, and there's a big mansion that sold for like $1 million. They averaged out to $294,915. Average days on market in 2021 should come as no surprise. Average 4 days on market. So houses were hitting on average, hitting the market. 4 days later, they had a buyer. So obviously, Center Township is this white hot market in 2021. So comparing that to 2020, in 2020, 629 houses were sold. So a little less. I mean, not a particularly high amount. The average price was $255,000, which means that in 2021, Center Township Crown Point had an increase of average sales price of almost 16%, 15.6%, almost 16% jump in prices. Days on market in 2020, 34 days, which is a pretty, regular time to be on market for houses that are priced well in a good area. Compared to 4 days on market in 2021 and a 16 almost percent jump in prices, that's Center Township is really a hot market. I don't think that surprises anybody. New construction, there were a couple $1 million homes in 2020. New construction, there was 88 new construction, tons of townhomes. They built up Hamilton Square in that time period. So I think that contributed to those numbers as well, obviously. But in terms of the difference between 2020 and 2021 in Center Township, 16% raise, 30 days less on the market, a month less on the market. Center Township did very well in 2021 compared to the year prior. So right now in Center Township, active listings, there's 53 active listings, of which 21 are new construction. So almost half of those are new construction houses, which is, I don't want to say surprising, because obviously they're building wherever they possibly can, but Center Township doesn't have a whole lot of land left, but there is, like I said, half of this is new construction. Existing home sellers are not on the market right now for whatever reason. Obviously, it's also January and we just got a bunch of snow and stuff, so there's different things that go on to it. The average list price for these active houses is $348,000, which is significantly higher than the $294,000 that they actually closed at in 2021. So this is an indication that the market is still doing darn good, that sellers are expecting, particularly new construction sellers are expecting these kinds of prices. Average days on market, 20 days. Higher than 4, less than 34. Again, the new construction kind of skews those numbers a little bit. So we'll see, what that active number, again, I don't see any indication that 2022 is going to be, somehow worse than 2021. In terms of pending listings in Center Township, it's been listed, it has a buyer, hasn't closed yet. 87 pending listings. 36 of those are new construction, which is a big chunk. And that the average listing price, we won't know what they close for until they actually close, but the average listing price on these is $332,500, which again, I think those new construction numbers are adding to that, because all the new construction that's going in pretty much everywhere, but particularly in Center Township, is in the 400 plus range. They're building these big single family homes. Not a lot of townhouse activity anymore in Crown Point. So I think this average is going to pull our closed average up, just because the new construction homes are obviously worth more in the buyer's eyes. Average days on market for pending listings, 10 days. Again, that includes the new construction. So I don't see anything slowing down. I don't see prices going down. I don't have a crystal ball, but it certainly seems, based on these numbers, that Center Township is doing just fine. The biggest problem, just like any other town, we've been talking about it all year, there are no listings. There's all these new construction listings, and obviously there are some listings. But if you think about the footprint of Center Township, Crown Point, that's a big footprint. There's only 53 actives, of which 21 are new construction, which leaves us with 32 existing homes for sale in all of Center Township. Obviously, it's wintertime. Sellers are kind of staying put necessarily, but I don't know that we're going to see that increase in inventory in the spring, but we will just have to keep an eye on it. If we don't, it's going to be a real interesting market in Center Township in 2022. So we'll keep an eye on that. So the other half of Crown Point, the other half, it's much smaller, but the other part of Crown Point is Winfield. So this is obviously east, off Randolph and everything like that. It doesn't include Lakes of the Four Seasons because that's such a very specific market. It's fantastic there, and their numbers are different. In 2021 in Winfield, 209 houses were sold. 59 of those were new construction. Average sales price, $351,551. Average days on market, 4 days. So we have this same, high list price, high sales price, low days on market, super hot market. There weren't really any $1 million homes, but that's more based on the area. They don't have a lot of those kinds of homes. You have nice homes on like big properties that sell for a lot, but you don't really have like the Briar Ridge and everything in Winfield. Most of the higher end ones are in like the $600,000 and $900,000 range. So they didn't really mess up the numbers that much. Compared to in 2020, 254 houses were sold in 2020. 67 of those are new construction, so similar percentages, no big difference there. Average sales price, $285,000. Average days on market, 29 days. So compare that 285 in 2020 to the 351 in 2021. That's a price jump of 23% in terms of average prices. Again, we didn't have a lot of $1 million homes or anything skewing that number. There's just a 23% price increase. Days on market went from 29 to 4. We're seeing exactly the same thing in Winfield. Crown Point's a super valuable area, access to highways, lots of shopping, cute downtown. Winfield has some properties that have some bigger lots. So again, I don't see these numbers changing significantly for 2022. Active listings in Winfield, 18 active listings, all of them are single family homes. We're not seeing any of the townhomes at all listed right now, whether the new ones they're building or ones that are already out there. 12 of that 18, new construction, which means in all of Winfield, Doubletree, everything, there are only 6 people that are selling their home right now. Again, they have a lot less homes there, like a lot of actual properties. Only 6 of them are for sale right now, which is a little crazy when you think about it. The average, $391,950. That is the average list price for these active homes. Obviously, that's going to be higher because we have so much new construction. Like I said, in Center Township, new construction obviously is higher. Days on market, 106. Again, so much new construction skews that number to the point where it's almost meaningless because they list a house, but they haven't built it yet, and they sell a different lot. So the house stays on the market, but now they sold 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 other houses. So days on market is kind of meaningless. But it is meaningful that there were only 6 active existing listings in Winfield. That doesn't necessarily bode well unless you're a seller who is moving out of the area or who is otherwise independently wealthy. Pending listings in Winfield, 26 pending listings. 11 of those are new construction, so a little less than half are new construction. Average listing price on these pendings, $392,509. So again, we're looking at average sales price in 2021, $351,000. Average pending list price, $392,000. It's another $40,000 jump. Again, we won't necessarily know what they close for until they actually close. Those will be the numbers in the upcoming months, but I don't see any reason to believe that they're not going to get at least close to these numbers. I've been waiting all year for some town not to meet that, but so far they all are, and it's amazing to me. Average days on market, 16 days, which again, there's some new construction there. It's a little, it skews it a little bit, but in no world are either Center Township or Winfield in danger of any kind of, market slowdown, as far as I can tell, anytime soon. It's all based on inventory. 6 houses in Winfield. What do we have? 53. Well, what did I say? 24 in Center Township. Nobody's listing their house for sale. We are going to see over the next several months, people don't want to move in January. I don't blame them. We just got 6 inches of snow or whatever it is. But we'll see in spring. People are looking at, their kids changing schools. People are looking at, hey, I don't have to move my giant king-size bed through the snow. Maybe I'll be ready to sell in April or May or June. If these inventory numbers don't increase significantly, which I don't know that it will this year. I don't have an indication that it will. I don't have any indication that it won't. We'll just have to see. But we are going to be locked down, not necessarily in a bad market, and certainly not any kind of market crash. But buyers are already starting to drop out. I talk to my buyers all the time. The stuff is too expensive for them. Sellers also have to buy. So they may want to sell, they want to sell real bad, but they don't want to spend $391,000 on some, brand new townhome, which I'm sure is very nice, but they don't see the value in it. So it won't be so much a market crash, and it won't necessarily be a market problem, but it'll be a market stall, I guess probably would be the best way to put it. When you're looking at 4 days on market average with, 23% jumps in price over year and year, there's room for, like I said, I didn't want to say a shakeup. I just want to say a stall. And then everybody kind of calms down a little bit, and then we get back with the program. But again, we'll see in spring and summer what kind of listings we have. We'll keep track of these numbers and see, hopefully Crown Point will continue to be available to people at whatever price range they're willing to spend. Let's put it that way. Thanks for that. I will, like I said, I go back to my weekly ones. We have one more week. Next week, we're going to talk about the year 2021 in St. John. Lots of, again, different kinds of housing stock. Lots of new construction. Lots of older, nicer custom homes built in the 70s and 80s, stuff like that. So I'm interested to see what happened in St. John last year. My prediction is it went up and days on market were low based on the real estate practice that I did in St. John last year. But we'll see next week. Please like and subscribe to this channel. I do these market updates, like I said, every week on different towns around me. If you know somebody who lives in Crown Point, either section, or somebody who's thinking of moving there, or you yourself are thinking of selling or buying there, please, contact me, direct message. You can always share this video with your friends and stuff like that if they have questions about Crown Point. My number is 219-765-2062. Again, call or text me, whichever's easier. If you'd rather send an email, you can reach me at hsbyerica@gmail.com. That stands for Home Sales by Erica. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm glad you're enjoying my videos. If you have any questions about buying or selling, but I'm not in your area, I have connections to an international network of realtors who would be happy to help. Give me a call, text me anytime, 219-765-2062. I'll be happy to give you the name of a realtor in your area. Thanks.